I've been poor. I've been poor. I'm talking about poor that maybe you don't know or ever seen what that's like. And I'm making a lot of money, like crazy, amazing money, right? But money makes stressful times easier, but it doesn't make you happy.
You're listening to the Reed Fletcher podcast. Today on the show, I got to talk with Freddy Elias. It's a great show. I really hope you enjoy it. He has a truly awesome story for humble beginnings, making it big. He is a legend in the network marketing world. Not to mention, he was a professional bodybuilder. Lived in the back of a bar with his family and the whole thing. He's really awesome with people. He connects. He cares, and he just has such an inspiring mindset. I hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, Reed.
Hey, Freddy, how's it going? Hey,
I'm good, man. How are you? So I'm ready. Whatever you need me to do. I know you're probably going to interview me, so I'm ready to roll.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty. I don't really come with any questions. Prepared. I mostly just kind of like to hear your story and just talk and get to know you more than anything. There's a lot to unpack, and I don't know your whole story, so it's great to have you on. But I mean, starting with, I've heard, you lived in the back of the bar, and then, pro bodybuilder turned network marketing, and then everything with your son. Like, I don't really know where to start, but I know you have an amazing story. So, I mean, however you like to tell it and wherever you like to start, I'm here for it.
Okay, so basically, you're looking to just hear my kind of like my life story in a sense is what
Yeah.
you're wanting. Okay, and then okay, I can do that. And so, how long do you want to go, or you tell me what's the guideline here?
It really depends on you. I think that Zoom actually kicks me off at about 40 minutes.
Okay, have we start? We haven't started yet, or have we?
No, we're started. I'm recording this actually.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's do it. First of all, it's just fun to do things like this. I actually am going to do another podcast. My mentor in the industry of network marketing has got this incredible like podcast, and so he's got thousands of people that listen in. So he just called me yesterday and wanted to interview me, my success story and what I'm doing, and talk about the principles of life. We're going to kind of have a conversation with, But so a little bit about my background. Initially, so I'm from a town called Peoria, Illinois, and I was a good athlete. I was an all-state football player in the state of Illinois. I was a linebacker. Wasn't good in school. Had a great upbringing, even though we didn't have much. Let me just touch on that for a second.
Totally.
My family, both my parents are from Lebanon, and so great family background, great culture, great food. It's all about family, and I had a great foundation for God, and but they didn't have a whole lot. I mean, I never went on one vacation with my mom and dad. They worked hard, a lot of hours, and we had a bar in the worst part of Peoria. It's real crazy now, and we had to walk through the bar to get into our house.
Okay.
And all five of us lived in a room of 300 square feet. That's all we had that was our whole home, and we had a bathroom. And until I was 9, then they added on another 300 square feet. So it was, I didn't know any better. Honestly, my mom's whole model was God, family, love, treat people right, work hard. And she would always say to me, and it's funny because my son and his girlfriend got this thing for us for Christmas, but my mom's saying is, as long as you have a roof over your head and food on the table, nothing else really matters. It's okay. So that was kind of the deal growing up. But I remember back, even when I was like 10 or 11, I was very driven. And I just wanted more. I wanted more in my life, and I remember that when I was young. And then, of course, I was good with people. I think I am kind of my mother. I am my mother exactly, but she was honestly a way better person, human being than me. And yeah, I'm not kidding, man. She was a saint on her. She was like a Mother Teresa. She fed poor people every single day at the bar. And she was an amazing cook. But I got into sports, worked hard, became an all-state linebacker. Was not great in school. I think I just couldn't. I couldn't sit and read and study, and so I didn't really want to go to college. And ended up. I love working out. Got into a bodybuilding career. I competed. My first teenage show was in Chicago, and it was the Teenage Mr. Illinois. It was 2 months out of high school. I was 17 years old, and I really did well. And then ended up moving to California at 19 because that was the Mecca. The Mecca of bodybuilding is Venice, Santa Monica. So I wanted to be around the best. Arnold was doing his movies at that point. He was done competing, but I was in the gym with Arnold about every day. Got to know Arnold, got to know Lou Ferrigno,
Really?
some of the best. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was very shy back then, but Lou used to ask me all the time. Every Wednesday night, it was Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk. There's a guy by the name of Hillbilly Jim who was like this big 6'8", 400-pound WWF wrestler. Cheech and Chong, one of the two. They would go out to dinner every Wednesday night, same place, and he'd always invite me. It was Freddy, come out and have dinner with us. But I was so shy. I was 20 years old, and I just was intimidated, right? And I didn't go, but I worked my way up in the ranks. Was a light heavyweight national competitor. I was in Flex magazine in the late '80s, and then became a fitness trainer. And then I came back home to visit my family, and then met my wife 32 years ago. And then, came back, and then basically fell in love and got married, and then we started having children. And I needed to make more money. And so I started a construction company. So now I go from fitness and nutrition to family and construction.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I just my priority went a different way. And that's when ultimately my body changed over 13 years.
Yeah.
And really went backwards. And I put a lot of weight on. I got unhealthy. I had a lot of pain and joint issues. And so that was kind of the deal. And that's how I got involved with Singular, which was January of 2010. And I mean, I can talk about that. I don't know if that's what you want me to talk about, if I'm supposed to.
Oh, whatever, up to you. I don't know if my listeners know what Singular even is, so you could touch on that.
Well, I'll share that because it's changed my life. But ultimately, so I had a phone call from my friend, and he's a fitness trainer in Santa Barbara, and he's really good. He's good at what he does. He trains a lot of movie stars, Rob Lowe, Michael Douglas, the actor, producer of Golden Girls and Soap. You're probably too young to even heard of those shows. And maybe those actors, right?
A couple.
But,
I know Rob Lowe.
yeah. And so he called me one night, and he just said he had this incredible wellness system with weight loss built in. And that's how I heard about it, because he knew I'd been calling for 2 years every month saying, I need something to lose weight. I got to get something figured out. From feeling terrible. So that's how my journey began. And so maybe I'll share that part on this call, and I'm going to maybe share about what if you want, just about people, I think, about life, some of my stuff that I believe in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So he started telling me about this. I'm like, okay, I want to know more. I'm interested. So I ordered the products, and I locked in. In 8 days, I lost 11 pounds and felt better. My energy was up, and went on to lose 19 in a month, 36 in 90 days. My body My body felt great. I went from feeling old to feeling young and athletic again. And I dropped 50 pounds in 5 months, went from a 44 to a 34-inch waist.
In how long?
5 months.
50 pounds in 5 months?
Mm-hmm. Reed, believe it or not, when I got on the products, I'm 5'8". I was 270. And I mean, I was, still muscular, but not working out anymore. I had a lot of muscle on me, but man, that is miserable. And so I pretty well maintained that. And then, I started working out 2.5 years ago again, and it took me a while to get really going. I was so out of shape, even at that 50-pound weight loss. And then the Accelerate came out, which really helped me really go into a different level. And then, and then I got in great shape. I mean, I actually, got my waist down to 31 inches, and I'm 5'8", 205.
What did you compete at? What weight class?
I was a light heavyweight. So the light heavyweight class in the NPC is 176 to 198 and a half.
Okay.
Or 198 and 3/4, 176 3/4. And so I would just make light heavies because I was last couple shows, the scale tipped at 190. It was 198 and a half. Anything over that, I had to go to heavyweight,
So were you kind of more the body type of like Franco Columbu rather than like Lou? Because Lou's pretty tall, right? And Franco, I think, was maybe around that height.
Franco's actually 5'3".
Oh, so he's much shorter then.
I hope to say that because 5'8" is not much bigger, taller, but man, 5'3" is really short. Yeah, more so. Yes, if you would say. I mean, most of the bodybuilders are not that tall. Arnold was 6'1". Lou was 6'5" or whatever. Usually, guys are in the 5'8", 9, 10 range. Is what you see most of the time. So, but like Frank Zane, and so that. And you probably wouldn't know that name, but anyway.
Oh no, yeah, Frank Zane. I know him. I don't think Phil Heath is very tall either.
No, Phil Heath's not. I went to visit a gym here in Franklin, Tennessee, and yesterday I'm kind of looking around at some different places, and the guy that won the Mr. Olympia last year was in there training. That's where he trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't even think of his name. Yeah, but so I've gotten in great shape again, and it changed my life. This company, this product changed my life. The eating plan, I got, it gets people on a track, and that's what I love. So then I built a business with it, and it's changed my life, right? And so, I mean, it's just like life changing. So it gave me what I wanted. I wanted to become debt free. I wanted time freedom with my family because I worked a lot of hours in construction. I wanted to help people. And, I have a home in Peoria, Illinois. We didn't move anything out of it. It kept it furnished. And I have a home now in Franklin, Tennessee, which is a remarkable area. And I don't have any debt. I, just good things like that, people, the dream of life is to be, I mean, everybody's different, but you want to have success, you want to have time, you want to help people. And that's what this has allowed me to do. I don't know if I can say incomes because of compliance, so I'll keep it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's happened. And so that's a little bit about my story. And if you want, I mean, if you ask, I don't want to ask questions, but I think what's important, I think people, and we can talk a lot of topics, what's going on in today's world or not, or what I think it takes to do well in business, in life. I mean, if you want me to go into that, I don't want to keep rattling and not know what direction you want to go.
No, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. I think a reason why you stand out to people at Singular and to me is because it's not like the old paradigm that people say where, okay, you can either have your family, or you can have money. And it's like, oh, you sold out. You decided money, so you ruined your relationships, or you decided your family, so you never amounted to your dreams. I think what is kind of different about, you and just the industry in general, is that it's as if both of those things have improved. The more money you've made doing this, the more relationships you have, you seem to be happier than ever. Your family, you're closer, you have that time. Um, the story about Nico has always been touching to me because, and maybe you can talk about it. If you're comfortable, but I just
Yeah.
think that that's an inspiring story because of the position you put yourself in. It actually allowed you to go through that whole time period and still come out the other end making money. It's just amazing to me.
Well, that was, and you have a baby right now.
Yeah, 10 weeks.
Special. And I always tell people that, you don't really know what real, like, just this super strong love is until you have your children. And as that baby keeps growing and being, doing things and talking and walking, and I mean, it's amazing. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. And of course, your mother and father know because they have 10, right? 10
Yeah.
kids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's special. And so when that happened, so ultimately we had no signs or symptoms. I mean, he finished his football season, was all conference. And Nico was 6'2". He was 280. And he was a guard, and he was very strong and quick off the ball, very strong and smart. And but he ended up he was working out in the gym. He was working out in the gym, and he had a massive brain aneurysm. It just blew, and we didn't know. And it's crazy because thank God my daughter was home. Um, we were flying back from Founders Club that day it happened, and so she was getting ready to go to work. His buddy, he told him, he goes, I got to get home. I feel terrible. I feel sick. I got the worst headache of my life. And that's kind of it started. And then at that time back home, two of my neighbors are ER, believe it or not, they're both ER doctors. And so we land in Peoria. My daughter calls, says Nico's really sick. So one of the doctors came over. We met them at the hospital. I mean, it was a tough ordeal. And so they said he had a massive brain aneurysm. They said, we got to put a shunt in his head. And I didn't know what a shunt was at the time. But for people that don't know, that they drill a hole in his head and put a line in him, and it drains blood. And I said to the doctor, the neurosurgeon, I said, you have to do that. He goes, if we don't do it within an hour, he's going to die. And so that's where I was at. It was surreal to me. I just never experienced anything like that. And it's when your own child, it's just very difficult. So, but ultimately, he was in a coma 7 days. They didn't think he was going to live, but he did, and came out of the coma. Day 17, we had brain surgery. 24 days in, he was in ICU. 10 days in rehab. So now all of a sudden, it was just for him to open his eyes was a blessing. And so I don't know, I can say whatever on here, right?
Yeah, whatever you want.
So, God touched us and touched him and blessed us, because he shouldn't be alive. But if you talk to him, meet him, you would never even know what happened to him. I mean, they went from saying day one, he's got 5% chance to live, to a week later, before he even woke up, if he lives, don't know what he's going to be like mentally. And if he lives, plan to be in the hospital 3 to 4 months, to opening his eyes on day 7, to brain surgery, to learning how to walk again in rehab. He had to learn how to put his socks on, take a shower, say some words. So that was a different journey.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard to see him not know how to put his socks on or get in the shower and take a shower. When he was 6'2", 280, strong as an ox, this great football player in my eyes anyway. But that was tough, but there was different God moments. And, because of singular, and I go back and say power of prayer though. I mean, they had prayer calls for us, the company, um, you know, 24 hours before his brain surgery, every 30 minutes, somebody was praying, whether it was 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning. Unbelievable people in this company. Tell you. And of course, Mark flew in twice during that time. Akala uh, came in twice during that time. Um, just as unreal. So, but then through the 90 days, I did not work January, February, March. My construction business, my number one guy was running it, or Singular, and Singular paid me $100,000 in 90 days, and I did not work. So that's the true power of what we call residual passive income.
Yeah.
And my team rallied, and so. But then I was able to, April of 15, I just couldn't do both anymore. I didn't have the energy to do construction. And I'd been thinking about selling my company. So instead of selling my company, I gave my number one guy who took care of me, I gave him the company, and which was cool for him because his income grew 2.5 times overnight. And he deserved it. And his daughter's my godchild, and he's got 4 beautiful kids. He's also Lebanese like I am, and he's a great person. But he took care of me, and I wanted to take care of him. I don't share that. I always tell people I sold my company, because I don't want to go into all of that, right? So anyway, so it was incredible. The whole company, your father was just an amazing man.
Yeah.
No, he gets me emotional. So, but you're very blessed, But so it's just all the people that were in my life and the blessings and the God moments. So I guess I'd say, if you're listening, you're not sure, be open. Be open to that. Be open to God. Be open to be blessed. Be open to. I always tell my team every time almost I sign off on a train, room at the top or whatever. I said, I always say, hey, you know what? Pray to bless other people. Don't pray for blessings. Pray to bless others. And if you do that, everything takes. And be sincere, true in your heart. So that's what happened. And here I am, almost. I shouldn't say numbers, so I won't. I did say 100,000, but it is what it is. Compliance-wise, I'm supposed to really be careful. You know that, right? So, so that's kind of what's going on. And you know what? I think that, again, we live in a different time, but it's okay. And for people today, if they want to have success in business, success in life, success in family. I mean, success is a broad spectrum word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can say I'm successful. Well, you might be successful financially, but you're poor over here. You don't have a good relationship with your family or your kids or whatever, your wife or whatever. That's to me not success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a balance, but I think a couple things I'm going to say. That one is, again, and I'm not preaching to anybody, but I've been poor. I've been poor. I'm talking about poor that maybe you don't know or ever seen what that's like. And I've making a lot of money, like crazy, amazing money, right? And anyway, but money makes stressful times easier, but it doesn't make you happy.
Right.
See, like if you want to be happy for a couple hours, go do something. Like if you like to golf, go golf. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be happy for, a week, take a vacation. If you want to be happy for a month, buy a brand new Maserati. But happiness is not any of those. It's not going to be buy $1 million home or whatever. None of that going to make you happy. It's not going to make you happy. And it's a short-term happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say if you want to be fulfilled and happy, is make a difference in people, bless people, but also my spiritual life, my relationship with God is what fulfills me. And I know, sometimes I'm not perfect. I can go off a different path, and he's always reining me back. See, but also that's one of the foundations for me. Another foundation for me is working on working on me personally, my personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Reed, it's like this. And you tell me if I need to stop. Okay.
No, this is perfect.
Okay. But you have to feed your body. You have to eat every day to fuel the body, right?
Right.
And the bottom line is, if you don't eat today, nothing. And you don't do it tomorrow, next day, you have no food. What happens? You start breaking down. You start getting weak. Your mind starts going. See? But my thing is to say, if you don't feed your mind the right things every day, then you break down mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that people, too much negative out here. Negativity is too much out there, right? So if you're watching the news and reading the newspaper, which a lot of people do, they get so caught up. And then you see things on social media. It creates, and some people may think it's fun or whatever, of like social media or just crazy shows that are out there.
Yeah.
They get so caught up, but it's like it drains your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people, feed your mind with the right things. Work on you harder than you do your business.
Mm-hmm.
See, grow your mindset. Feed your mind good things every day. Get your attitude up to altitude. Because a lot of people have what they call stinking thinking. It's negative thoughts constant.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to talk about other people. And even people that are close to them, they talk about because it makes them feel good.
Right.
Because something, they don't want people to have success per se.
Mm-hmm.
See, they don't, so there's envy. Envy is the killer of joy, right? But if you're working on yourself every day, your mindset, and you're growing, getting your attitude up to altitude, and you're building your confidence, your self-esteem, all that ties in together, and you're growing yourself and you're growing your comfort zone. See, I just know this, like if I work out every day when I was competing and train hard, smart though, and
Mm-hmm.
eat right, I was going to build a body. See, so it's the same thing. If I feed my mind the right things and I'm manifesting the right thoughts, the good things, and I say prayers over myself, my family, and people in my life, and manifesting good thoughts, constant.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is going to happen. What you think about, you bring about. So sometimes if you're thinking constant negative comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see. So that's the other second thing. I think it's very important to be feeding the mind the right things. I think it is very important to stay away from negativity, hearing negative constant. And I want to be honest with you, some of the things that happen today, maybe that's
Yeah.
I don't even know if things are happening. I mean, like, the thing in Minnesota with that guy, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate, that police officer or the guy. I didn't even know about it till a week later.
Right.
So
what do you feed your mind with? Like you personally, how do you keep yourself positive?
Well, one, you want me to share some different people, authors, books?
Sure. Just how do you personally, do you read books? Do you listen to podcasts?
I listen to, I do. Well, I need to broaden my spectrum in my library. But I listen to a lot of audio,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, different people when I'm driving.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, I pray.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I read scripture. And then I work on me. So I'm listening to things. I mean, I like some old school guys.
Like who? Like Jim Rohn?
Fantastic. He's fantastic.
You listen
Zig
to?
Ziglar,
Yeah, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins.
Tony, Les Brown,
Uh-huh.
my style guy people, right?
Yeah, totally.
One of my favorite, well, probably to say my favorite book of all time, if you want to know that by chance,
For sure.
is a book by a guy by the name of Og Mandino.
Okay.
Have you heard of Og?
I have not heard of Odd.
I want you to read this.
Yeah,
I want you to pick this book up.
Okay.
And it's a book by Og Mandino called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it is not about being a great salesman. It is about becoming a great person. And it talks about, I mean, just there's scrolls. It is Christian based. There's 10 scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
And you read scroll mark 1, and it's like a 5-minute plus read is all. But when you get to scroll mark 2, you read that scroll morning, first thing upon arising, at noon, and then before bed, but you read it out loud before bed. And you read that scroll 3 times a day for 30 straight days.
Did you do that?
Oh yeah, I did that many years ago. I'm getting ready to pick it up again. But let me say this to you. It will feed your mind and feed your heart. And I'm telling you what, it's life-changing. So that's one. It's very hard though. It's simple read. It's 5-minute read 3 times a day. It's so simple. Like you can breeze through it.
Yeah.
But is it hard? Because it creates consistent habit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Creates this consistent habit, but it ingrained in your brain and your heart. And it's scroll mark 2 is my favorite scroll. And so it says, I will greet this day with love in my heart. Okay. For muscle can split a shield. But it's only the unseen eyes of man or something. It goes on. I don't know. I know some of it. It's been a long since, but I'm picking it up again. Mm-hmm. And it talks about the principles of life.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've never read it. My brother read it. I did door-to-door sales, and he read it. He's doing it with me, and he told me to read it and said that it was totally changed, like the way he could stay positive, the way that he viewed people, I think, was a little bit through a more optimistic lens. You know, like he didn't assume the worst in people, and that actually made him a better salesman as well. I will read it, and we'll have to do another podcast to talk about it.
Yeah, we will. So in scroll mark 2, it talks about how it's incredible. So when I look at you, right, and I will look you in the eyes, and I could have just met you, and this is how I do. This is how I greet people. Mm-hmm. But I look you in the eyes, and I say to myself, "I love you," and you're seeing that, you know. And it talks about, which is not. Some people might think it's crazy, but it's real. Mm-hmm. And it's all about the heart. It's about people, and it's in, you know, and it's, you know, it says, and like, I'm trying to think what scroll is, but scroll 9 is a great one because it talks about taking action. Mm-hmm. And scroll, I think, I can't think of which one. I got to refresh, but I will persist until I succeed. And those are the things. It's very powerful. Okay, so anyway. So that's when I read. I mean, you know, just different things. I send stuff out to people, and like I got 3 books going out this week. I put contests on. I sign the books, and I say, "Read, you're amazing. You know, I know you're going to be one of the greatest in our industry, greatest in our company." And I sign it, and I run contests, and I send it to people. I send them. I might send them a bag of Resist and a book, signed book, and I love doing that type of stuff and to inspire. So honestly, Reed, so those are things, and I'm driven and I'm passionate. And when I believe in something, I mean, my heart is constant on my sleeve. When I believe in something, I go after it, and I know that every day that I got to get better. And do I have time freedom? 100%. I can't even believe it. Am I debt free? Yes. Do I make a lot of money? Yes. But I have to get better. And this is why I go back and say about getting better. I have to get better, because the better I get, the sharper, the more my saw is sharpened, the more people I can pay it forward to. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's what it's about. This company, I owe them for what they've done for my life, to change my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I owe my people. I'm not going to sit back and, so if I hit ambassador, I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, well, this guy's trying to hit gold manager. I'm not going to sit back, because my level and the money I make, and I'm going to work to help people get to
Mm-hmm.
their levels. That's one thing. I think those are things I think are important, but to wake up every day and feel blessed, have gratitude. And you talk about looking at people, Reed. I look at people's hearts. See, and that's what I look at, and I want to know them. And it doesn't matter. Look, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. I grew up in the worst of the worst. I mean, I can tell you things that I went through, been shot at, had a gun in my head, and I mean, we've been robbed 6 times.
The
Nobody
bars.
ever, not been shot at, gun in our face. Nobody ever got a dime. My mom and dad worked too hard for that.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean? I'm just being honest. but I don't look. I look at people. I look at their hearts. I love people in general. I love people, and so that's kind of what's happened. And um, so those are things I think if people just work on themselves, and they find something they love,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll tell you one other quick story. You know, his name. He's one of the wealthiest guys in the world. Um, ah, it's trying to think. My mind just went like, he's in Nebraska. He owns what's the big company? You know who I'm talking about. He's an older guy,
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. So I like listening to things like that, right?
Yeah.
Interviews with him.
Uh-huh.
So he was at this college in New York, small college, and he's talked about how he got started, and then just his journey of life. And Basic said that this college girl said, raise your hand. She goes, should I change my major? Because my major is education, and I'm not going to make a lot of money, but I'm driven to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, look, here's my advice to you. He says, do what you love. I mean, like you can have a major of teaching, like be a school teacher, but then do something completely different, right? It happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, do what you love, follow your heart, because whether you make 30,000 a year or 3 million a year, if you wake up every morning and you are happy and you are passionate and you love what you do, that's really the ultimate. See?
Yeah.
So that was his advice to her. And so I think every day when you wake up in the morning, go, love what you do and be passionate.
Mm-hmm.
So, until you find that, keep looking, be
Yeah.
open, and be open to opportunity.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
completely agree. I think one thing that I kind of get from your energy is that you have this growth mindset. You're always pushing yourself to be more, to kind of attract more into your life, but it doesn't come from a place of scarcity. You're not thinking, well, if I get more, then I'll finally be happy. You're not thinking like, my life is so hard right now, I need more so I can finally be the person I want to be. It seems to me that you feel like you're currently at a place of abundance. You already feel like you're happy, you have the things that you want, you're grateful, and you want more just because you want to have more of that, not because you're not happy already right now. You're content, but driven, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. Very much. You hit it on the head. I am very content, but again, it's all about my gratitude. I feel
Mhm.
so blessed. I
Mhm.
feel so blessed. Like right now, I'm feeling so blessed to be on this podcast with you.
Thanks. I'm
You
I'm
know,
blessed that you jumped on. You're a great
and
guest.
I mean, I just feel this is fun. I'm having so much fun with you and getting to know you more, and I want to get to know you more. But it's like, um, but I'm driven. Like, I mean, I'll just throw this out. When I first got into Singular, and I've worked my butt off. I'm very hard. I work my construction out hard. And there was nobody going to outwork me. There was
Mhm.
nobody in the gym when I was competing that was going to out train me.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm very competitive in that factor, and I'm going to give you everything I got. But um, the bottom line is, it's opportunity is different. I mean, you can work hard, but you got to work smart too. And it
Mhm.
took me a long time to figure that one out. But also, certain things can only give you so much, no matter how hard you work, right?
Right.
And so the bottom line is when I got started, and this was early days, man, we didn't have nothing we have today. And
Mhm.
I knew they were 6 weeks old, the company was, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to earn $10,000 a month part time as a secondary income. Now, that was not going to enable me to go full time and just do this, but I knew I was going to make an extra 10,000 a month. And I told my wife that before I signed up one person and got one person on the product. And I did. And then I got to 10, then I could see 20. I got to 20, then I could see 50. And now I got to 50, and now I see this. And now I got to the next level, which I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but I mean, just to say where I'm at, but I see 200,000 a month. But I balanced my life because like, this is not like I've always balanced, and I tell my people, balance your life out. This is something I think is important too. Zig Ziglar talks about this. When you got to schedule your day, you got to schedule time, you got to tell your family, especially in our home-based business, when your singular time is or whatever the business is. And so, but that's your time.
Mhm.
So you got to go after it during that time and let your family know this is what you're doing, and let them know that we're going to have success, and this is what we're going to be able to do together. And this is
Mhm.
why. But when your singular time is up for that day, or just even during that time of the day, and you're with your family, be with your family, be present. See,
Yeah.
that's important. And because what happens a lot is people go to work and they're working, 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 and they start feeling guilty that they're not with their family. But then when they're with their family, they start feeling guilty because they're not doing their business.
Mhm.
And honestly, that happens in traditional business too. And so you got to have balance. But I do find it living in the present. Like when I'm talking to somebody, I want them to, and not that I try, it's not, I just do. It takes time to work on your skill. When I'm talking to you, I'm going to give you my focus. I want to listen to you, and I want to get to know you.
Mhm.
And I want to, you know what I mean? Those are things that are important, but a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. No, especially nowadays, like it seems almost like common that you're talking with someone and like midway through they're checking their phone and they're, Snapchatting and texting and I think especially kids growing up right now, they don't even really realize that they're supposed to give undivided attention, you know?
Well, just because they don't communicate, and there's so much going on, but it's like this. It's like, when I like with you, I want to ask you about your baby. I want to know what's that like to be a father, and how's your family, your wife, and I never would tell people about my kids, how they're doing, and I want to know. Tell me about what's happening in your life. How are your children?
Mhm.
What's going on? But like in your case, I want to know, how's that baby doing, and how's it feel? How are you feeling about being a father? How's that changing you? Those are things I want to know about you. Every time I'm put on a video chat or whatever, like today I was put on a video chat. Tommy Gillis, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
With
Baseball
this
player.
guy who's a financial planner.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom, he's interested in networking. He's interested in our products. He's interested in business. He's open. And so anyway, Tommy put him on with me. So we were video chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom introduced me, and I said to him, I said, Gary, great meeting you. I said, tell me about you. And I said, tell me about you. Like, one, how did you meet Tom? And I said, what is your attraction here? What are you interested in with what we do, with the products or the business? And then tell me, do you have a family? Do you have kids? Where you from? And then that's what I say. And then I listen to them. Because I want to know. I'm not going to say, hey, yeah, I got all the products, I got great results, and I'm making a ton of money, and I'm driving this nice Corvette or whatever I'm driving, Audi, what I drive. It's not what's important, you see. And so those are things I think as you hone skills, people skills, because it's really, people want to know that you care, and people want to know, they want to feel special too. Does that make sense? They want,
Yeah.
So those are things I think that are key. We talked about a lot of things and so on. So, but yeah, man, I tell you what, life is good, brother.
Yeah. How's Nico doing?
He's awesome.
So
he graduated virtually.
Oh yeah, me too.
Did you get when in May, was it?
Yeah, in May. It was actually the day before my baby was born. So I graduated, then went right to the hospital the next day.
So tell me, so where'd you graduate from?
So I graduated from the University of Utah.
The Utes, is that what they call those guys?
Yeah. So
they got some good football there.
Who did?
They have good football at University of Utah.
Yeah, no, they've got great football. In fact, there's a huge rivalry here in Utah versus BYU, and Utah's won like 8 years in a row, I think, which is funny because both of my parents went to BYU. In fact, my mom still currently goes to BYU. So we got, it's nice to have a little family rivalry going.
That's cool. Why did you choose Utah, out of curiosity, if they went to BYU?
So I actually got accepted to BYU. That's a good question. I don't really know. It's just something that, it wasn't something I was like, I'm doing this for, a rebellious reason or anything like that. I just like the idea of being in Salt Lake. I like the sound I like the campus and the classes, and I just felt good about it.
What did you get your degree in?
Business administration.
Okay. Super cool. So Nico went to a university called Illinois State University.
Okay.
Which is in Bloomington, Illinois, which is where State Farm is based out of.
Oh, cool.
So they invested a lot of money into this college. It's Division I, AA college, and about 22,000 students in it. So he went to the State Farm Business School. And so he got his degree in marketing and called in professional sales. He double majored. But
nice.
So he initially started out with business admin, and then but then he's working now. It's funny, Curtis just called me. But he's working with a company they're based out of Chicago, believe it or not, but they have an office here in Nashville.
Okay.
And so he's like a recruiter, a headhunter for health professionals to place people in jobs, like at hospitals, like at Vanderbilt and places like that.
I think that's really cool. The professional selling and marketing, like what a valuable skill set,
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like you, he's great with people, and he's a go-getter too. So, but that's cool, man. Reed, can I ask you a question?
For sure.
How old are you? Do you mind?
26.
Okay. And how long you been married?
2 years. We got married February of 2018. So a little over 2 years.
Did you meet her in Utah or the University of Utah?
So it's actually kind of funny how I met her. No, my best friend growing up, she's from Arizona. And she's actually in Arizona right now. And my best friend growing up from Utah, I went with him to a family reunion of his in Idaho. when I was like 14 and she was there. She's 12 and I was 14. Um, we didn't really talk. Like years later, I reached out to her because she got pretty, like she grew up. And I found her like on Facebook, and I was like, hey, we didn't know each other, but I reached out to her on Facebook and was like, hey, we met at this family reunion like forever ago. And long story short, she ended up coming to Utah like 2015. We kind of dated on and off, and got married in 2018. So
You reached out to her on Facebook and said, "Hey, I met you here," and that's how it started.
yeah, a DM. I just sent her a message, and I just said like, so that friend was still my friend at the time. That's her cousin. And he told me, hey, my cousin that you probably don't remember. Because at this point I'm like 19, right? I met her when I was 14. He said, you probably don't remember this girl, but she was at this family reunion like 5 years ago. She got really pretty. And he showed me like she did get really pretty.
That's wild.
And so little did I know when I messaged her, um, this is kind of the funny, her perspective was she actually had a huge crush on me at that time when I was 14. And she had been waiting kind of like for years that I would hopefully reach out. And so when I reached out,
Wow.
she was already like excited about it. And yeah, that's like the Reader's Digest version, because she ended up I went and served a mission in Brazil for 2 years. Had no contact. I actually thought she got married, came home. Then she left on a mission to England for a year and a half. And then we finally started dating. So it's kind of like a, weird,
Interesting.
yeah, long route, but
No, that's awesome. So Brazil, you speak Portuguese,
yep.
and do you speak? Your mother's from where?
She's from Guatemala. Uh,
Guatemala.
so I
Uh,
don't actually speak Spanish. I guess I speak enough because Portuguese is similar, but
yeah. So you speak Portuguese, but are you fluent still?
yeah.
But you can understand Spanish pretty much, right?
Yeah, if they talk slow enough, it's kind of like, if to me the way that Spanish sounds is like a little kid, speaking like it's people get mad when I say that, but it kind of sounds like baby talk because it's like Portuguese is very hard sounds, like the word for president is presidente, and the word in Spanish is presidente. It just sounds like a little sing-songy. I don't know.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How'd you like Brazil?
Oh, it was awesome. It was so eye-opening. I mean, the poverty was very eye-opening, makes you really grateful. The people though are so family-oriented and humble, and yeah, it
Mm,
was an amazing experience.
mm. Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. A lot of Lebanese in Brazil. I
Oh,
keep
there?
saying Lebanese. Yeah, I'm very proud of my culture and my people. Yeah, there's a ton of. Matter of fact, both of my cousins, who
Mhm.
are my first cousins, a male and a female,
Mhm.
both married Brazilians.
Really?
So the one girl, my cousin, was a guy, but his wife was born in Brazil, grew up in Brazil, and he ended up going there. She's Lebanese though, but of course, she speaks Portuguese.
Mhm.
Both her parents are Lebanese, and he went there and met her, and they basically their marriage was pretty well arranged. And then my other cousin, my uncle, who's my mom's brother, his daughter married a guy from Brazil. He's Brazilian, yeah. So they
Yeah.
both obviously speak, and they're both back in Peoria now. All of them are in Peoria, so they speak Portuguese too.
They're
But
really
there's
cool people. Their culture, and like they're very warm and outgoing and talkative, you know. They think we're
Mhm.
so cold, and they're always hugging, and they kiss each other on the cheek, stuff like that.
So yeah, that's the culture. That's the culture. It's a beautiful culture.
Uh-huh.
It's awesome. But there's something else. Can we talk really quick? And like I said, if you need it, I don't know when we're gonna end, but you tell me.
I have no time constraint. I'm just kind of I'm working with what you got. I'm
Okay.
loving it.
going back to a little business too.
Huh?
Our country is a great country, and I just would love for people to really get it. But my mother, they grew up very poor in Lebanon. I mean, even where she's from, her town, where my uncles, two uncles, there's two boys in the family, they got what was left. Like the way that works is the girls get nothing, the boys get all the inheritance. That's how it works. So they got the house there. It was not much. They were pretty poor, but my one uncle was, renovated a lot and just making it better. But even where they're from in Lebanon, up in the mountains, half the time there's no electricity still. This is 2020.
Right.
So what was it like 60 years ago, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, but when my mom came here, my mom did not read English or write or speak. My mom did not read or write Arabic either. She didn't go to school. She worked on the farm. She didn't go to first grade.
Okay.
But so this is something I think that I'm an old school guy, if you would say, but we're a big sports family. My brother was a very good athlete. I was too. And my dad, we loved football mostly, basketball, baseball, whatever. But whenever we would watch, say the World Series games or NBA playoffs or championship games, NFL, Super Bowl, whatever, playoff games, my mom did everything and we did everything together, right? And so, but even as we got to be adults, we go over every Sunday.
You froze. Am I frozen? Shoot. Oh, okay. You're back. Sorry, I lost you.
Okay. Not sure where you lost me, but
You said you go over every Sunday?
We went over to eat every Sunday. I mean, we were over there more than that, but every Sunday we'd have family dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd watch, say it was a NFL championship playoff game or whatever. They always would have, obviously, the flag, the United States flag, spread out. They'd have military guys, maybe standing at attention, maybe whatever, and they'd say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Do whatever, or the national anthem. But every time it would bring tears to my mother's eyes, and she would say, "God bless America, the greatest country on earth," because for her it was. She wasn't from here. It gave her a better life. She was able to raise her family here, you see. And so I just came to my thoughts, and that's why I appreciate so much. And I think a lot of people today, they don't appreciate our country. People fought for our freedom, and they don't, they're doing crazy things. But the one thing I'd say, and this comes to my mind, is you brought up Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably not much in the middle. In a lot of countries, there's not. They're either really poor or really rich.
Yeah, definitely in Brazil, that's the case.
Okay. In Dominican, same case. In Philippines, same case. A lot of places. But in our country, the middle class has built our great country. The middle class has built our great country.
Mm-hmm.
Challenges, the middle class is fading. It's getting weak. And you're either going to have lots of people with nothing, or you're going to have people with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
See? And that just came to my mind when you brought up Brazil, and there's a lot of poverty, right? And you went and you were serving the people in your mission trip. That's what you do, serve, and you pray, and you want to get them to know Christ, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but my whole thing, and I go back to business and what we do in our company, in our industry, like this is an option for people to make a world of difference in their life,
Mhm.
And so, and I want to see people flourish across the board, but
Mhm.
if the middle class is going away, then we're going to have poor, rich. I mean, I guess when, ultimately I'd rather be on the rich side against the poor.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? But so some just different thoughts to you.
Yeah. I
And
mean, yeah, that's what is so cool about the network marketing industry is that it's people that don't need a special degree, they don't need special skills. Um, and in fact, the more they can just be themselves and connect, they can actually make the money of someone who has that degree or who has those special skills. It's something that a lot of people really talk down on network marketing because they see it as like a get rich quick scheme. People say that kind of stuff, and I think that's so funny because that's not what it is at all. It's very empowering. I remember watching Tish at Zing Fling and her talking about, she, I think, worked like fast food and could barely afford the gas to get there, and had no.
but it's true. She worked 3 part-time jobs.
Hmm.
2014, single mom. She had 5 or 7 boys at home still.
Oh.
The 2 young ones, the big
Mhm.
boys, were 15-year-old twins, and then she had 3 others. She made 27,000 Canadian in 2014, raising 5 children. So you go ahead, finish up because I want to
Well,
just that's
yeah, I mean, and it's so empowering to me. Like I get it's not for everyone. It's not easy. It's definitely not like get rich quick scheme and all that stuff. But if there's one thing I remember sitting there thinking was, oh, look at this woman who probably told herself that she wasn't worth a lot. She was probably told that a lot. And now she's on a stage wearing a beautiful dress. She's making really good income. People look to her as a leader, and you know like where are they going to get an opportunity like that? Where can they get that self belief if not in this, in something like network marketing? I think it's a beautiful thing.
it's amazing. It's 100% true. And what's crazy? 2015, she made 280,000 US, which is like 300 whatever 40,000 Canadian, and from 27,000 Canadian to 280,000 with our company. And she needed, because she really had a tough marriage, a lot of stuff there. She was beat down, and this is where my thing is I said I believed in her before she believed in herself, and I had to get her to think that it's like you can. I say if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right too.
Hmm.
And I always tell people it's all about working on yourself, getting better with CANI, CANI, constant and never ending improvement. And I tell my children every day, work on yourself. Every day, work hard. Every day, get better. Every day, you got to work getting better,
Hmm.
and whatever you want. And so but she overcame. Her story is amazing. And in the industry, I mean, what else can you do to start a business, work from home, have no real overhead, and create an extra 500 to 1,500 a month? I mean, there's in our country right now, there's over 60 million people in the US alone that are looking to make an extra 500 to 1,500 a month. What are they going to do that?
Especially now.
Especially now. Okay. But this is a business that, you can go after it, and believe it and build it, especially if it's the right vehicle. Got to be the right people, the right vehicle, right product, right comp plan,
Yeah.
right everything. But it's a business that, average people can earn way above average income. It's a
Hmm.
business that can create whatever it is. I always say to people this. Jim Rohn says it's a part-time business that can create a fortune for you. I say the same, but I say this is a part-time business that can create whatever it is you want out of it. See, and it's true. It's a fact. And the industry is beautiful. Again, there's a lot of companies out there, but they're not all good either.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, there's thousands of them out there, but it is what it is. We just so happen to be in a pretty special place
Mhm.
because of what we have, but more importantly, the people. Telling you, man, I'm feeling good about your dad being at the helm. And you know, I'll
Awesome.
be honest with you. When that happened, I was not happy.
Uh-huh.
I called Rudy as soon as I heard about it, and I said, "What is going on?" Because I trusted Mark, and I got to be close to Mark. But Mark Walker is an amazing man, right?
Absolutely.
He's got the best. He's one of the best men I ever met in my life, and he's got the best heart, and he's about the people. And then when that happened, but now you know what? Russ Fletcher is one of the best men I know in my life too. And man, and he's very smart too, and he's good with people. He's just incredible. So you're blessed, brother, and your mom's so awesome. You've got a great family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I think that you have an awesome mindset. I think you're inspirational to people inside and outside of Zingular. My listeners, it's not like they all do network marketing or even know what Zingular is, but I really think they can pull a lot from this. So I really appreciate you just giving of yourself to me and to the podcast. If people listening to this, if they're interested in knowing you and joining you and becoming a part of Zingular, how can we support you? How can they reach out to you and be part of your business or anything like that?
Well, if they want to friend me on Facebook or message me, it's just under my name. It's Freddy, 2 D's and a Y, Elias, Elias, and it's my profile is my wife and I, and my number. If I can give my number out too, it's that works for you. I'm good with
Dude.
it.
Yeah, if you
Three.
want to.
Oh, I'm good. But better to text me first, but it's 309-303-5296. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to, show them what we do and what we got, and even it's just to connect and develop a relationship and help people through. Some people go through some hard times, and you know, we all go through stuff. But I always say again, and everything passes. It gets better. And
Mhm.
when Nico got sick, that was the toughest journey of my life. But little things, like small things, used to bother me. Little silly things, like they may bother you, but little things don't bother me anymore.
Mhm.
Not after going through that. Right? And so, anyway, but yeah, man, I appreciate you so much, and I look forward to hopefully sometime, maybe in Kansas City, we can be together and break some bread,
Yeah, I'll
whatever.
have to introduce you to my little baby. We'll come down to Nashville. You can meet my wife and little baby and show us around the new place.
You
Um,
know what? I would love to have you guys here.
I would love it. I'm serious. We'll be down there, I'm sure, at some point. So I'll reach out. We'll bring
Please.
some special Utah dish for you guys to try.
All
Maybe
right.
green jello.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. No, you're welcome into our home anytime. And
Thank you.
I love you know my wife. She's amazing.
Hmm.
And she would love that baby and your wife. I'm sure they get along great. So, but man, I appreciate you having me on here. Really, this has been fun for me.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime. I'm gonna read that book. I'm serious. I'll read it.
Please do. Yep. You anytime. I'd love to come back on sometime soon or whenever. Just let me know. Okay.
Okay, I will. Thanks so much again, Freddie.
All right, brother. Take care. God
You have
bless
a
you.
good one.